Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drink. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
A very good morning to you and welcome to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics, talking about a better place for you and for me, a better place for us. With the way things are going, I remember, I listened to one of a very good heart of Abia State talking about Dr. Mondo Bani this morning, who said that despite whatever that we are going through at the moment, that Nigeria can still be that better place at the end of the day. Well, just keep the hope going. Keep the faith bold. Let it be obvious. Yes, we are going through a lot at the moment in this our dear country, Nigeria. But we only have Nigeria. We do not have any other place than Nigeria. So let your hope be strong. Let your faith be strong. And let us fight this together. Very good morning to you. And welcome to Standpoint once again, the center of all talks of politics. My name is Moses Ben. Joining me this morning is my colleague, a very good one. He said that we shouldn't direct him to the path of incorrupt activities. Incorruptible Sam, You're welcome to Standpoint.
Yeah, good morning to you, Moses Ben. I think today you came prepared and from a different angle. Off the mic you are singing, now on the mic you are preaching. Listening to you, remember the pastors, some of them in their local churches, trying to be real and not preach about money, motivating us. Well, let's believe that things will start getting better because I can't wait. Yes, it's high time we started growing and not telling us we should just exercise patience. But it's a beautiful Thursday, and I believe today will be better than yesterday.
All right, certainly today will be better than yesterday. We have joining us also on Standpoint this morning our correspondent who has been in the newsroom talking about Kingsley Onwuka. Kingsley, it's surprising to have you in the studio this morning. However, good morning and welcome to Standpoint.
And good morning. It's nice joining you guys today on Standpoint, and I'm glad to be here. So let's dish out the information.
All right, it will be a very critical angle on the Standpoint this morning with regard to what's been happening, not just within a particular state, but across different states in the Federation. When we get to that point, we'll cross. But just follow us through this morning. Sam, there's been development talking about issues of killing. Let us swing into action this morning before we delve directly into what we want to solely discuss on Standpoint. Talking about a killing, I was so devastated completely when I got to realize that dozens have been abducted in a fresh attack by Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. The attack happened when the insurgents invaded 3 internally displaced persons camps in Ngalato, the headquarters of Gamburu, Ngala local government area at the border of Cameroon, where the terrorists are more active. Of course, according to reports that over 40 girls and women went to fetch firewood from the bush when the insurgents whisked them away from the Baban Sansani camp, Zulum camp, and Arabic camp. The source said that the number of women and girls kidnapped could be higher, as the specific number of the abducted girls has yet to be ascertained. This is the situation of things in Borno State. I can remember the governor of Borno State has been a kind of tough on this issue of insurgency, talking about Zulum. He's been very, I don't know, if you should ask me, who do you want to credit to be the best governor? You can say when it comes to issue of insecurity in that part of the country, how he has been handling this. But another one has happened. I don't know, was it ignorance or negligence on the part of security personnel, or they allow things to be the way it's been, that nothing would happen. It was a bitter one.
Well, it's still what we have actually been battling. It seems things are not even getting better. The more we expect it to get better, the more it keeps getting worse. And this is the insurgents right now trying to tell you that whatever you're doing, you have actually been backing. Yeah, this is just like a dog that will bark, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen. Yeah, from the federal government, even the state, Zulum, talking is actually different from acting. And these guys are around. They are around. Yeah, they are around. We're about over 40, even they say more.
Should
than.
we say it's complacency on the part of the security personnel?
We just talk. If they go now, maybe let's say they just attack these guys and maybe kill 5 of them, who come celebrating. That we attacked the Boko Haram set and we finished them. We destroyed the camp. We take pictures. I don't know where they get these pictures. We just take pictures and we relax. Okay, we have dealt with them. And that is a group of armed men. And from the group, you just kill 5 and you're celebrating. Now, when they want to attack, you see them attacking comfortably with their plans. You see them coming to... Now, they are not picking goats. They are carrying human beings in their number. And it will take time for us to see these women again. We still remember the Chibok girls.
The Chibok girls. Just a situation of over 200 Chibok girls. They were packed out.
Some said it was political. It was some still don't believe that there's something like that. Whether the number of Chibok girls were that big or not, something really happened at Chibok.
And that threatens the security architecture of this country, whether it was political or not political. We are talking about lives, human beings in this case.
That was under Goodluck Jonathan, and today we are still discussing it. The girls, some of them, we heard that some got married, some don't even want to come back, whether true or not, but something really happened at Chibok. Now, this one. And some people will still come out to say, no, there is nothing like that. The news you heard in Borno is nothing to, don't believe that. At the end, something will still be the truth from the story.
And
that's the problem.
I'm always marveled when these issues like this happened. You get to understand that then the security will be beefed up. Okay, once the security is being immediately beefed up, at the end of the day, what happens?
Definitely.
We don't get to hear again whether these men were captured. If they were captured, were they prosecuted? If they were prosecuted, what's the situation of trial around them? This has been the culture when it comes to issue of combating these men.
Definitely. When you ask them, they will say it's a security issue. They don't need to.
They don't need to divulge it to the public.
That's what they tell you. Whereas we need to know. Why do you take pictures and snap when you have succeeded in killing 5 amongst 40? You tell us. Why do you tell us? If giving us proper information is something you can't do, is a security issue, but when you kill 5, you snap pictures and tell us how you destroy their camp and all the rest. It's so annoying.
It's annoying.
They have made Borno their home. Once they want to act, if they want us to hear about them, they come, pick people and go. Maybe you pay a little bit of money, they will release half. It's now a business. And people keep saying, yes, they are being sponsored by... These guys can't just buy the type of arms they use. Majority of our soldiers don't use them. That means people are in charge. We use crude oil to make money. We do everything. Agriculture in Nigeria, we sabotage everything just to make money. Someone, somehow, is sabotaging insecurity or security in Nigeria just to make money also because they are being sponsored. How do we arrest them? How do we get them? We can do that if we are serious.
Sam, as far as I know, security is being financed in Nigeria. When it comes to security is being funded appropriately, properly in this country.
In
at the end of the day, it's in budget. As a matter of fact, you see money doled out to this sector. At the end of the day, you don't. What is your job solely, if not to protect lives and property in an environment?
That is.
You're being funded.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you still allow us to talk. When you're being compromised with your activities, you allow people to. It's something that accurate attention has to be given to. I don't know how they would address this. It is not usually funny. It is not usually pleasant that we get this report when we know that there is a sector responsible for handling this issue in the country.
Which is very simple to handle.
Why we are talking about Borno State this morning, Sam, following the killing of over 50 people in fresh attacks on some communities. Now, this is Benue State by suspected terrorists and the rising insecurity across the country. The Senate has resolved to take its leadership of both chambers of the National Assembly to urgently seek audience with President Bola Tinubu to find lasting solutions. And I'm still wondering this morning again. Last time, you called security chiefs that, okay, what is happening? At the end of the day, imagine that over 50 persons have been killed again. Fresh attack in Benue State. Now you want to meet with the presidency to consult what? We have these men. If these men are not capable in tackling or handling issues of security in Nigeria, they should please vacate their position.
Definitely, as simple as that. Unfortunately, here in Nigeria, we don't actually work with competency. We work with people that are loyal. In Nigeria, we define loyalty to be somebody that you know, a friend. You just give him a position.
At the detriment of productivity?
That is what loyalty in Nigeria is. Because when I hear people say it, even official ground, you see someone in your office, you know this person is not competent to do the job. You are now you are pushing, supporting the person to continue because the person is loyal to you. The definition of loyal in Nigeria is different from what it is. Now in Nigeria, we give people the job whether they know how to do it or not. Our chief security officers in different departments, maybe to the people that employ them or assign the job to them, they are very competent. But to us, they are not. Because if you are very competent, the issues we are having in Nigeria, security meetings, they have that almost let me not exaggerate. That should be monthly. They sit together.
They do. They do.
So
they have security meetings.
Police guys,
even at the state level,
they come down every week, every month to sit. And at the end of the day, we don't see anything because someone is loyal to someone.
Another issue, Sam, is the utilization of security vote. As a matter of fact, to state governors.
Yes.
Fine. Let us know that the national level and subnational government, they have their responsibilities. You've been giving security vote at the end of the day as a state governor. How do you utilize it? Because we expect you, by the time you receive billions at the end of the month, where do you channel it to? You have the sole responsibility as the chief security officer of your state to also look critically into that sector. Because if you don't have stability when it comes to security, certainly businesses will be affected. The economy of that society will be affected. Social coexistence will be affected also. Over billions naira every month. What do you use it for?
That's a big question. And the answer, if you ask them now, they will tell you other things that they are doing. So many of them don't even know that security is number one thing. Yeah, number one that they should do. Because we're talking of hunger now, but if I am not even secured, I think I will even prefer being at home, dying of hunger, than coming out to be killed. You understand? So some governors don't know their primary duty. Sometimes, unfortunately, we actually, exempt them from these issues. But they know. Well, kudos to Abia State Governor that came in there. Lord Panther Axis has actually been something he has actually paid attention, knowing that security is one thing he must tackle. And kidnapping issues also in Abia State gradually reducing. That is a beautiful thing. If other states can do
but
that.
it doesn't still point to the fact that you should put your eyes off the issue of security.
It's consistency. You have done this one, everything that you need to do to secure Abians. For example, you just need to do it. In Boronu also, what is it? Zulum, like I said, aside coming out to talk, what are you doing with the security vote? What are you doing just to make sure you secure your this? If you need help from the federal government, how do you push for the help to come? Is it because you're not being affected? Your children are not here. They are not here. You're here. You'll be surprised. Some of the governors, every weekend, they fly out, go to your different bases and enjoy with their family, then come back Monday to tell you that work has started. They don't want in any way feel what you are feeling. So that's why you see the money. They know what the money is meant for, but they will use it for another thing.
All right, while we move away from the issue of insecurity at the moment, something hot has been cooking for the deputy governor of Edo State, the person of Philip Shaibu, as the Edo State House of Assembly during plenary commenced proceedings to impeach embattled deputy governor Philip Shaibu, the majority leader of the State House of Assembly and member representing Ovia Northeast Charity, announced this during the sitting. Remember, the issue around the primary ticket has been there. Now, this is a fresh development. At the time, Shaibu was pushed out from government as I was given a separate office outside the government house. With this one, it would be a very bad impression when it comes to how he would receive it as a person.
Definitely, it is. And I don't know why the governors and their deputies, especially when that last 2 years for them to leave office. You see them struggling and fighting. Well, Okezie and his own, they didn't fight. I don't know. Maybe they were too. The friendship was so tight. The former governor Orji Uzokalo also, during his he had issue with Abaribe. Later with Chima Nwafor and all the rest. Though Chima Nwafor died anyway, they didn't have any issue. So it's always difficult for governors to allow their deputies to come in. That's exactly what is happening there now. But we did not vote in the deputy governor. So why impeach him? Now I know, because this one is Obaseki now. Yeah, okay. he's the governor, and he knows majority of the state legislators, they are behind him. So just to make sure that he will frustrate this guy, I know that's the angle they are going. And also Shaibu coming out to say he's PDP. PDP had to flag bearers. The one that has been flying here and there.
Yes. Ighodalo has been flying.
Ighodalo is the one that majority supported. Shaibu declared himself. So that's the issue they are having there. But I don't know why Shaibu and Obaseki. But no one is accusing anybody. That's one thing about this their fight. Shaibu hasn't come out to say, Obaseki, you stole money, you ate state money. Obaseki hasn't said, the money I gave to you to work as the deputy governor, what have you done with nobody? But you see them fighting. Maybe Shaibu, Obaseki won't want Shaibu to take over. And
I'm afraid if this action will mitigate against the victory of the PDP at the governorship election,
it might.
Given the kind of person that Shaibu is, he's a street guy. Yeah. He has contributed a lot to even the government of Obaseki.
Maybe that's why Obaseki wants to switch him off. But it is what it is, especially in Edo. At some point, Adams had issue with Obaseki also, in as much as previously or initially he was. Obaseki was his man, but later they had issues. So Edo State, they need to really look into so many things just to make sure that the state will continue to go forward, just for the betterment of the people. Well, politics is nice if you play it the right way anyway.
All right, let us get down to discussion this morning on the standpoint as we look at something very critical this morning in as much as Nigeria is concerned. There has been an outbreak of Lassa fever in certain states of Nigeria. You may already know that, of course, rats is a Lassa fever vector, but with the rate and percentage of those who have contracted this disease and the percentage of death recorded even within the epi weeks in 2024, it leaves one with a thought if rat has been the only vector or cause of this, or is it that the body responsible for the management of this outbreak has missed it somewhere? It is not Ebonyi State today, it will be Benue State tomorrow. If it happened in Edo State 3 days ago, the next time would be in Bauchi State. As far as I know, but we'll find out this morning via our guest, the number of confirmed cases increased from 43 in Epi Week 52, 2023, to 53 in Epi Week 1, 2024 cases. These were reported in Ondo State, Edo State, Bauchi State, Benue State, of course, even Ebonyi State. I didn't get to say Abia State, though. Now, this is first week of March 2024, gentlemen. And with the reports flying here and there, one would be wondering where the country is standing at the moment with regard to the Lassa fever outbreak. Which state is this outbreak prevalent in? What has the body responsible for the management of this outbreak been doing? We will get to find out all these as we discuss updates on Lassa fever outbreak in Nigeria and the NCDC response. To help us handle this issue this morning is the head of communications, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Yahya Disu. A very good morning to you, Doc, and welcome to the program.
Good morning for inviting me to this program, and good morning, listeners.
All right, how are you doing over there? Because we've made it a responsibility at this point to find out how everybody is doing at the moment in the country.
Well, we're all working hard to respond to the outbreak, right from the frontliners who are working in the local government down to the states, Ministry of Health and their partners and the other NGOs supporting them, and to the national level, where NCDC is coordinating this across the country, working with our partners, both local and international, and other NGOs using. I also want to thank Nigerians who volunteer to support this, especially at the community level, in ensuring that this outbreak is contained in the affected areas.
All right, Doc, I was actually trying to find out how you have been doing, because I understand the state of things in the country at the moment. I can say what is happening around me, but it's okay. Let us get into a discussion proper this morning, Doug. Talking about Lassa fever, there are persons who, up until this point, do not even still understand what this outbreak is all about. We want you to throw some light on that while we discuss critical angle and its statistics, where Nigeria is standing at the moment. What is this Lassa fever all about again?
Well, Lassa fever is an infection that is caused by a particular virus called Lassa fever virus. It may present ordinarily like malaria, like fever, headache, weakness, usually in the beginning, just like any of the fever, just like malaria. What no known is this around, but anything that can cause fever, it can mimic such conditions. But over time, this infection may end up causing bleeding from the orifices like the nostrils, from the mouth, our gums, and then even the private parts like the anus and so on. Usually at the later stage, and very few cases get to this level. Some even die before they even get to that level where they start bleeding. So we call it viral hemorrhagic fever because it ends up in bleeding. It's in the same category with Ebola, dengue fever, and so on. But this disease is present constantly in our communities, especially in some states within the country, like Edo State, Ondo State, and then also now Bauchi State, Benue State, and Ebonyi State. But currently, we have about 24 states in the states that have recorded confirmed cases of Lassa fever across the country. So it's not a question of one particular state or the other, but any states in the country can get this, because people who are affected, when they get this virus, they can move around before it manifests in their body. So it's incubation period, from the time the virus gets into the body to the time the person becomes symptomatic, is usually between 3 to 21 days. So somebody who is infected in Edo State now will travel to Kano State, and after like 2 weeks, it manifests and it starts spreading this. So that's why every state needs to be at alert. How does this virus spread? It spreads through, usually the virus lives in a particular type of rodent. Before, according to science, we call them multi-mammate rats. And they don't cause harm for these rodents, but when these rodents move around, their droppings through their urine or their feces or their saliva contain this virus, and they can drop it to contaminate our environment, our food, and then people who handle these animals or who prepare them in eating them, they can get in contact with them, because the body fluids that's contaminated can enter our body through if we have wound on our hands or so. So, and there are the ways that we can get this disease. You don't have to have direct contact with rodents. If you don't keep your food, you don't store it in a way that rodents cannot have access to it. By the way, nobody can even distinguish which one is multi-mammate rats or which one is rats that is not multi-mammate. And science is also showing, recent studies are showing that we're also having this in other diseases. Recently, in other types of rodents. Even in some situations, some most recent studies done show that even cats, dogs are beginning to carry this virus in them. So we need to be careful, because after the virus survives for a long time, it may find a way to adapt to new hosts that it was not adapting to before. So our level of hygiene is very key. Environmental sanitation to keep rodents away from our homes, block all our holes, keep our food in sealed container so that our grains are not contaminated by these rodents, and we avoid handling these rodents directly. Then those who show symptoms like fever, headache, cough, especially in this season, actually during this dry season when you have rodents infesting homes, needs to think of this could be Lassa fever, to go to their nearest health facility where suspicion can be made by the healthcare workers and arrange for sample collection to test to exclude Lassa fever.
All right, Doug, you just mentioned something very critical, and then if you look around, you get to understand that virtually everybody goes with the pets. You talked about dog as a result of research, that dog also and cats could result to Lassa fever. With this development, don't you think that it would be uneasy to tackle this outbreak, specifically in Nigeria?
Sorry, come again. I missed.
All right, while you were explaining things to us, you mentioned dog and cats as other forms of bringing this disease to people. And if you look around us, you get to see that virtually in 3 houses in the street, 2 persons will be having these pet dogs around. Is it not another way to extend this outbreak in Nigeria?
Okay, so now science is just revealing that, research is just revealing that dogs and cats, are already hosting this virus. We don't know how widespread it is, but in few locations where this study has been done. So, which means is a possibility that we could have a more widespread other animals carrying this virus. So we just need to be careful. The more we try to contain these rodents and they have limited contact with these domestic animals, the better for us. Because if you are careless and they become, these viruses adapt completely to the new fish, then it becomes difficult for us. And we are chasing rodents, we also be chasing cats, we are chasing dogs, we are chasing rabbits, and so on and so forth. So the earlier we do that, the better.
All right, Doug, let us come this way. As I said, can you hear me, Doug?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, I don't know the level or the point where Nigeria is at the moment, but as far as I know, I can say for sure that the EpiWeek 52, 2023, that it resulted, the number of cases resulted to 53. What is the position of Nigeria as a country when it comes to this outbreak? What is the number of cases recorded by this by your body?
Okay, so the reality is this outbreak season for Lassa fever usually starts around September, October. The cases start rising, and then by December you start experiencing a sharp rise in increase. You know, one of the reasons these rodents may be leaving their places with the bush will be because of dryness, as in maybe they find it difficult to get food, so they move closer to homes. Or our farmers by January who are preparing their land, who are burning bushes to prepare their land, drive more rodents closer home. And especially when we have poor waste management. And they are closer to our home, so they stay in this and they continue to interact with us. So January, the rise in cases continue, and peak is usually between February and March. With the onset of rainy season, you see a dip, right? So it's usually the situation. So as at that December, 2 states were reporting cases, but by January, February, we now have reports from 24 states. So as we speak, as at last Sunday, that's our EpiWeek 9 for the new year, we have reported about in 24 states over 3,000 cases, suspected cases, and over 500 confirmed cases of Lassa fever. So
in 24 states.
Yes, in 24 states now. I can't remember the number of states that reported as at that December because I don't have statistics with me right now. But I can tell you now that it's more widespread because people keep moving around. You remember during Christmas, everybody comes home and then they go back to their places after the festive period. So some people will carry the new gifts from the Christmas, apart from those gifts we share, beautiful gifts we shared. Then we also share viruses. So at that time, and we take it back to where we work after the festive period. So this is one of the reasons why this disease can spread.
All right. In this 24 state, which state is this outbreak prevalent in?
Usually it's still our Edo, Ondo, Bauchi. Now we are having Benue, and Taraba. They account for most of the cases, confirmed cases in Nigeria now.
All right, this is Standpoint. We'll get to find out because there are persons who have been asking what would be the effect of this outbreak. Is it something that one can actually get? Is it something that they can give out cure? Is this something that could be taken care of at the end of the day? The victim would be alive. But we'll find out from you, Doc, when we return from this break, please.
Okay.
All right, this is Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. At this moment, we are looking at updates on Lassa fever outbreak in Nigeria and the NCDC response. We've been speaking with the head of communications, Nigeria Center for Disease Control this morning, Dr. Yahya Disu. We'll go on a very short break. When we return, we'll get to look at all that critical angle with regard to our topic this morning. Please stay with us.
nke abụọ kwa dị oke mkpa. Ndị Enugu Electricity Distribution Company PLC EEDC na-agwa ndị ahịa ha na-agam n'iru iwulite mita nke STS nke a na-akpọ mita upgrade. Achịkọgo ọnụ ha na-arịọzisio ndị ahịa ha gaa n'iru iwulite mita ha site n'usoro a. Nke mbụ, goro akara mkpochi ọkụ latrik na ya ka ị ga-ahụ mkpụrụ edemede 20 gbara mkpị atọ. Nke abụọ, tinye mkpụrụ akara edemede a gba mbọ na ọ banyere. Nke atọ, pinye osote ya. Nke anọ, pinye nke ikpeazụ gbakwara otu mkpị ahụ. Iya akara igotere abanyego mara na ị ga-ebu ụzọ tinye akara igwe ọkụ latrik ọbụla igoteburu dobe tupu imebe ihe ndị a, maka na ọ bụrụ na ime ha otu a iwulitere mita gị, akara mkpocha ọkụ latrik igoteburu mbụ ga-ala gị n'iyi kpamkpam. Marakwa na iwulite mita bụ n'efu, bụrụkwa iwu nyere STS mita ọbụla dị n'akụrụngwa EEDC. Maka ịjụ ese kpọọ akara 084-700-100 maọbụ 020-84700-100. EEDC ife ala Igbo ọnụrụ karịa ibe ya o.
1 million naira worth of prizes to be won. Nigeria, are you ready?
Star Rise Music Reality Show is here. Can you sing? Do you want to be the next superstar? Rapid 96.5 FM presents
Star Rise Singers Audition
for gospel singers, hip-hop singers, reggae and all the genre of music. We are searching for the sound of your city. Pick up your registration form for free at Rapid 96.5 FM off Winners Chapel Road, Ihendume, or the Native Restaurant, 14 Ojike Street, opposite Apple's Fast Food, Umahia.
Audition is live on Rapid 96.5 FM, so get ready.
Star Rise Music Reality Show, searching for the sound of your city.
Proudly sponsored by Gavice Logistics and Bull Vibes Entertainment.
Justy, this one where you put your hand under your jaw this early morning, wetin happen? Your goat don die.
Wake up, leave me oh. If to say my goat die, that one better oh. All the goods so dey my shop don expire finish. No market. Since morning I never say even 1 naira.
Chai, you never hear about Rapid FM Ahiana Market.
Ahiana Market na Rapid FM program where we go help you tell people wetin you dey sell, how you dey sell am, and where your shop dey with just take only 1,000 naira kpere. We go carry your business and put am for the next level. Oh yeah, green us for phone with this number 080-6356-8266. Or you fit rush for Rapid FM Radio House behind New Government House Umahia, Abia State, Nigeria. Ahiana Market.
From Umuahia, Nigeria, Rapid FM 96.5, the sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example I may show you are leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Yeah, welcome back to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. This morning, we have been discussing the topic, update on Lassa fever outbreak in Nigeria, and the NCDC response. And we still have virtually this morning the head of communications, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Yahya Radadisu. Doc, you're welcome back to the program.
Hello, Doc.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a correspondent this morning also with us in the studio, Kingsley Onwuka.
Okay, Dr. Disu, my question to you this morning is, are there any specific group of people who are more vulnerable to Lassa fever, and what are the precaution measures they should take to protect themselves?
Okay, thank you for that question. From the data we have, we usually see that the people that are mostly affected are between the ages of 21 years and 40 years. And then the reason for this will be, especially males, will be because they are more involved in outdoor activities, in work relating to hunting, and we can't really explain why, but we found out males are most likely affected, and these are the age groups that are most affected by this disease. So what we continue to do is to raise awareness about people who are more likely to get this, and to find out what risks they are associated with, so that they can reduce the risk of getting this disease. And if they get symptomatic, they need to report earlier, so that once it's detected earlier, the person is given treatment, and it's also, kept for some time to prevent him from transmitting it to his loved ones. There is likelihood that we will break the chain of transmission and reduce the vulnerability of this particular kind of group of people.
All right, then. Are there any ongoing research efforts or development in Lassa fever prevention, diagnosis, or treatment that you can share with us?
Well, there is a drug for now for those who are infected, who are symptomatic. But this, you can only access this through the State Ministry of Health treatment center they have established in the states, or the states. So the important thing is, if we just appeal to the healthcare workers who see patients in the facility to report this officially to the state's Ministry of Health or through the local government's health system. We have the disease surveillance and notification officers in all the LGAs. They are aware of the reporting system. Once they pay this, they are ready to collect samples. If the person is confirmed for Lassa fever, then you will be able to take it to the appropriate place where the appropriate treatment will commence. So I think that is it's not treatment you can just get from any facility, or that any doctor can just suspect and start treating.
All right, and so what advice do you have for the general public in staying safe during this Lassa fever outbreak? And what are the resources or support that is available for those seeking information or assistance?
So our advice generally is they need to be aware that this is the season for this disease, and so they need to be extra careful. Personal hygiene is very important, hand hygiene. Because when you shake somebody, you don't know whether that person has contaminated his hand. Maybe you have touched somebody who is ill, you are taking care of somebody who is ill. So regular hand hygiene, hand washing. And then our food hygiene, especially how we store our grains. And then even when we cook our food, that we expose them, that rodents can come in and start eating. And through their salivas and their droppings, this food can be contaminated. So we need to ensure that we maintain food hygiene and hygiene, environmental hygiene, to keep these rodents away from us. So peradventure, some people who develop symptoms, they need to report early in their facilities so that they can be.
Hello, sir.
Those who report early, when they are admitted and treated, they recover better and they are less likely to die. But those who die are usually people who present late. So by the time they are presenting, no matter what medication you give, it may be too late. I'm not saying some may not still recover, and they may even come down with some disability. So early presentation is very key. So to get more information, I know when people contact their state ministry of health, they are more likely to get more information or go to the NCDC website where we have our situation report for those who are technical enough to understand our graphics. And through our social media handle, we share this, and we also share all this with the State Ministry of Health. Some of them develop jingles, they adapt these messages to local languages where people can understand. Then other partners who have the resources can also work with the State Ministry of Health, collect these materials, translate it to dialect that people can understand, and then also share this message. It is where all of us are involved that we are sure that we can achieve our collective goals.
All right, sir. You said affected state now is 24. So my question to you now is, what is the collaboration between the NCDC and the states, this affected states?
Well, our health system, the way we operate, the states lead in the prevention, detection, and response to these outbreaks generally. And then when we provide guidance and then technical support, as well as material support, training, and so on. Position materials like drugs that they would need in this treatment center, those are roles that NCDC play. But in a situation where the state is becoming overwhelmed, they can call for assistance from NCDC. NCDC mobilize human resources to go and support the states. But in a situation where you have multiple outbreaks or outbreaks across many states, the NCDC does the central coordination to ensure that there is synergy in the way we respond collectively to this outbreak across the country. Then we also get support of our partners, both local and international, and working with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Environment, and even the security sectors to ensure that we all put our resources together to achieve this common enemy and to attack this common enemy.
All right, we hope that with synergy between your body and the state government across the state, we'll be able to handle this issue, most especially at this time that it will be spreading. We want to say a very big thank you to the head of communications, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, on your submission on this issue this morning, Dr. Yahya Disu. Thank you for your time on this program this morning.
Thank you.
All right, Sam.
Thank you for.
All right, sir. It's a big issue.
Yeah, big one.
And most of us we don't give attention to this. You get to see people take this issue to be a mild thing, that it doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, you see them suffer critical condition when it comes to their health. With what he has said, I hope Nigerians, given our behavior, our attitude, most especially when it comes to our health, will be able to take this into proper consideration.
Definitely. We need to be serious about that. Just like what you have said here. So many of us don't pay attention, to things like this. They will tell you, no, African man, it's difficult to die. They feel like African man. They will start telling you how their great-grandparents, we wake up in the morning, notice that a rat has eaten the gari that they forgot to cover. They will just remove that part that the rat touched and continue eating it. And at the end of the day, nothing happened to them. So we understand. You hear those things. You go to some shops, the noodles, the other stores. You see that the rat has actually tampered with them. They will take that one home and consume. It doesn't kill. They can't sell it. If not that, some customers will reject. But at the end, we need to pay attention. These rats, they have a lot inside of them, as it has to do with diseases, but we don't know. And the earlier we start paying attention, and he made this statement of this is it increases now. Now he gave that reason of the bushes. Now the farmers will be farming, burning bushes. You see those rats leaving the bushes, coming home. And that is a very, very good, and it's happening. If we don't tell ourselves the truth, that means we're not very serious. That is exactly what is happening now. So the earlier we start taking things seriously, cover your food. Make sure they are covered. That spoon you use in dishing food, wash before. Don't say, I've used it today now. From morning till now. I beg, they kill African man, Joe. These are the things we see. Sometimes you go to the hospital, it might not be noticed earlier. They'll say, okay, don't worry, take this drug, you'll be okay. They are giving you malaria drugs now, whereas you're suffering from Lassa fever. Before you know it will take time. And that's what he said. Early detention or reports will help the doctors and nurses work on it. But when it gets to the point of you bleeding, when he talked about that, I became scared. He said people even die before getting to the point of bleeding. You bleed through the anus, and maybe if someone notices that now, you say, it's pile. Na pile now. No, just take this in. It will go. You're not suffering from pile.
And when you're not
suffering
gone
from another
to carry out a
you
test
have not
or
gone to the
diagnosed
hospital.
yet.
So many people don't even want to go to the hospital.
All right, we'll get your thoughts, Kingsley. The numbers are 09160,965, 09160-333-965. You can as well follow us on our YouTube channel. Of course, it is a Rapid 96.5 FM. Let us have your own concern also noticed on this program or this topic. You're welcome to the program. Good morning.
I'm Okafor Chinedum.
You're welcome,
Good morning,
Okafor.
Moses Ben.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, my friends in the house.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome, Okafor.
Okay. Let me start with this. The issue of Lassa fever is more of the issue of hygiene and keeping our environment clean. So it lies within us. This one is no longer government.
Yeah.
This one, we must take full responsibility of this one. This one is no longer government. We will ensure we keep our vicinity very, very clean. Our vicinity must be tidied up. That is our responsibility. Now, let me move to the issue of insecurity. I don't know. So, my friend in the house made a very remarkable suggestion and input that I really appreciate. And that is Incorruptible Sam. Incorruptible Sam said that the government will always invest in security, but there are people who will always live to sabotage the effort of the government. I can't imagine the kind of weapon these people use that is more sophisticated than the one our military men use. So that means there is a sabotage somewhere, which it is still the responsibility of the government to fish out these people and deal decisively with them. That is the only time we can tackle insecurity.
All right.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Okafor. We appreciate 09160,965, 09160-333-965. Let's have your comments on any of the issues addressed this morning. Kingsley, still on the issue of Lassa fever, because people are dying silently. A very good morning to you and welcome.
Not dealing decisively. I think that should be another way of coming in. Remember, this beautiful morning, Ben Moses, Incredible Son, and there are in the house. They are highly blessed.
Good morning.
Guy for real. Only from this Yes, we know that in every establishment of good thing, there will be people who will sabotage, people who will compromise, people who will look for a way to make that thing not to eat any fruit or to produce any meaningful thing to the life of the people. But this is this. These people, are they hidden? These people, are they spirits? They are human beings. They can be seen. So what I'm trying to say, that particular aspect, was the way we're talking about is security, how can we not get it? When the government of the day, some people are being reported, just like when some names have been mentioned, these are the people who are, causing havoc. These are the people who are engaging in violence. These are the people who are engaging with groups, to go and destroy some good things the government has established. So when the government come across to know people, what is the measures? Have they come up any day to tell us that this person, we have terrorized them, we have punished them, we have disengaged them from the government of the day. It's happening so for them to be engaged with government. So that is the issue. So because them have the sabotage in the system, but they don't want to deal with them. That's one other way to deal with this insecurity. I think how time they go about it will go a long way to solve it. Then let me come down to Lassa Fever. Yes, it's not only a good environment in terms of cleaning environment, because if we are talking about cleaning environment, yes, a whole lot of people are doing that. Just like what happened in Lagos, in Festac. That's champion that buy that money. That hotel, are they not cleaning it? So the issue of cleaning your environment is not a matter for now. But what matters is this.
All right, Don Kesiga, round of your point, please.
They are now doing
round of your point.
Just like they are doing this issue of this injection that government have commerce. All right,
Don Kesiga, you have used your time. We appreciate your contribution. Thank you for understanding. The level of awareness is another angle to this, Kingsley. Sam, you cited a very good and remarkable point. You see the following day you come to your shop, Rat has dealt with some part of that item, then you take it home and all of those things. And do you know, I'm thinking that people die with regard to the sickness silently without knowing. It calls for level of awareness here. We'll get your thoughts, Kingsley. Good morning and welcome to the program.
All right. So Ben Moses,
yeah, good morning.
So which was saying that you have in Cambridge security. And then you have to reach good. Now, what you is but they want to come to my far board. Now, we have to restore their power to Jonathan, not to think of now.
We are struggling to get you sincerely this morning. The network has been very bad. Sincere apologies, sir. We couldn't hear what you were saying at all. The level of awareness is another issue here. Down here, we are just looking at it peripherally. That's okay, it's just at the upper level. But go down to the locals. You see what is happening. How do we achieve this, Kingsley?
All right, like what Sam is saying, he's saying it's based on cleanliness and other things. The thing is that the issue of Lassa fever, government is involved.
Okay.
It's their responsibility. Why? Example now, the NCDC communication officer said 24 states affected. And I know Imo have been reported Ebonyi and Enugu. That is the southeast. Abia, we don't have any confirmed or any suspected case
or
yet.
Reported case yet.
But what is the Ministry of Health? What are they doing? That is the awareness. He mentioned about the primary health care doing jingle to their own local language. Yeah. What are they doing? It's not by pushing based on cleanliness or not. It's government, because number one, you as a ministry or you as a commissioner, you need to let the people know what your ministry is doing to combat this outbreak or to combat Lassa fever, to ensure that, because the thing have to do with is based on, for example, now somebody that is infected might not know that he's infected because the symptoms get worse when it's at least from 15 days up, but from 3 to 21 days, that is the duration. But if this person leave his own state and comes to Abia State, we start talking about contact tracing. Now, the people are not aware. There is no update from the ministry. The government, they are not doing their own best. You understand? But by the time Abia reports one suspect case tomorrow, now you will see the ministry running helter scatter. Now, the people are not. You're talking about the rural people. These rural people, you guys talk to them to the language they will understand. What the primary center they're talking about, how many is working in Abia State? That is the question. So it's not all about saying your environment, you need to keep your environment clean, or people, if it's clean hygiene, I believe that.
But the people shouldn't be kicked out of this responsibility completely. Fine, it's government's responsibility to do this through primary health center, carrying out enlightenment and all of that. The people also, when it comes to hygiene, being careful with your activity, it matters, Kingsley.
But if it comes to immunization, you will see primary healthcare workers that are going to churches. They are moving around the street looking for a baby 0 to 5 years to immunize. If they can do that, spreading the awareness of Lassa fever, I think the people should be aware.
All right, let's get the thought of this person. The line has been busy.
Hello?
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry.
Good morning.
It seems like network disrupted.
Just be brief. Just be brief before we round off.
Yeah. So I was saying that Egon here and as an military to this thing we're trying to do just people. But thereabout this money was used for their own personal interest. Meanwhile, we saw on internet that a military is trying to molest a female military. And these are the people we are looking up to defend us. So you can see that corruption has created everywhere. That's one. And then last, I want to talk about this Lassa fever. What do we do about our pets? How do we know if they have contracted the virus? And what medication do we give to them if they have contracted the virus? Thank you very much. Sorry, him now.
All right, Dalu, we truly appreciate your contribution. Gentlemen, we'll have to leave it at this point.
Definitely.
Then we follow up this issue to ensure that the enlightenment spreads across for people to be aware of this. It's deadly. You must be careful with whatever you are doing. Kingsley Onwuka, our correspondent, who is always busy at the newsroom, thank you so much for your time on Standpoint today.
Thank you.
All right, Incorruptible Sam, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so we spoke earlier on with the head of communications, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Yahya Disu. Standpoint will make a return tomorrow. Until then, remain blessed and keep doing your best. My name is Moses Ben. Good morning.